Good morning and welcome back for another vlog of myself, Darren. Straight back at it, 6 a.m, Friday morning. We finished last night just before 8 o'clock. This is classed as a reduced rest because we only had 10 hours, but legally we had to reduce to 9. Still connected to the same trailer as yesterday, but we still need to go over, make sure it's all road legal, not picked up any nails in the yard, and it may cause a puncture. There's no new damage. Don't worry, that banging, it's quite normal for these skeleton trailers to make a lot of noises. That's just the air suspension lifting up. It takes a while sometimes for the air pressure to build up as well. And funny enough, just doing our vehicle checks and see on the floor for the brake lights. It's working right down there at the end. However, ones for the unit are not working on this side. With any luck, it's just going to be a quick light bulb change, nothing to do with the wiring. Should be that one. The rest of the light bulbs are working, so hopefully it's just a light bulb change. It's always worth keeping a little screwdriver set inside the truck. And off you come. Right, which one is the culprit? Is it the top or the bottom one? Turns out I got the wrong light bulb as well, so that one doesn't actually fit. Let's try that again. A quick little tip for any new drivers out there: if you're struggling to work out if your bulbs are working, etc., and normally if it's quite dark in the yard, you can just put your foot down on a brake, for an example, or pull it into reverse, check your mirror, and you'll be able to see the light reflecting on the floor or the surface behind your vehicle. However, if it's a little bit too light and you're unsure if the light bulbs are working, a good way to do it is put your mobile phone at the back and then do your tests, and then go check the video like you've just recorded on your phone. That's definitely one way to do it. The plan of action for today: I've got an empty container on the back. We're going to the docks, delivering the empty container, and then whilst we're at the docks, we're then collecting one of the containers for our clients. It's going to be a 20-foot container that we're collecting, and we're dropping off a 40-foot. So I need to make sure we stretch the trailer to where it needs to be. I'll show you that a little bit later on as well. And then we're delivering that container to our client over at Knowsley. Need to be there for around 8 o'clock, give or take, 8, half 8. They're normally pretty quick at this place as well, unlike yesterday where I was on the bay for 7 hours. Yes, that is right, I was on the bay for 7 hours yesterday. Now that's a rare thing that you're on a bay for that long getting unloaded, but hey ho, it is what it is. And that's what caused us to finish so late last night. The place at Knowsley we're making the delivery to is the 20-foot container, and it's palletized goods. The forklift guys are pretty good at that site as well. Last time I was there, 25 minutes to get offloaded. And then we're going back to the docks, doing another exchange for our empty to a full one, and then taking that full one back to our yard at Haydock to get unloaded there. I believe it's going to be tiles for the second one. It's the thing when you're doing containers, it could be literally anything that you're collecting. It could be anything. We don't get any paperwork from the docks. We just got to check all the reference numbers, and everything matches up to the container number we get from our client to say it's that container that we're collecting. And then we find out when we get to the client, when we're opening up the back doors. I need to try and get some fuel a little bit later on as well. We've got 110 miles left on the range, which is plenty for what we need to do at the moment. And I can fuel up when we're at Knowsley. So after I've made the delivery to our client, I'll then get some fuel. And for us to get to the docks from where we are, we're going straight down the East Lancs Road and then jumping onto the M57, following up right to the end to Switch Island, hitting the left, following that road all the way down to Bootle. Nice and straightforward. We've still got roadworks on the section going towards Bootle from Switch Island. I'm just going to let this van in. So that's caused a little bit of delays, but nothing too much. Thankfully, the opposite side of the road is now free flowing, as they've removed all the roadworks on that side. Not really too sure what they've actually done here. I think they're just making the path a little bit wider, maybe adding a cycle lane. It's been going on for some time. I will be honest though, I don't see many cyclists coming up and down this road. Oh, actually I need to stay in that lane anyhow. Arriving at the docks now for 7:30, right in the middle of our 7 to 8 booking. Sure, the battery is not going to drop down. Yep. Ta, bud. I'm just going to follow it round to the main port section where the barriers are. Give our codes, reference numbers, etc. And then a little slip prints out and tells us where we need to go and what type of container we're collecting. What is on that trailer there to the left? It's really cool. Never seen anything like that before. Unfortunately, I went across the little weighbridge a little too fast. I went over at 3 miles per hour. Yes, that's right. 3 miles per hour. So I've got to go back out at the port, around, and then back. Over the little weighbridge, get ourselves rebooked in with all our pin codes, etc. Pain in the backside. You've literally got to go over it between 1 and 2 miles per hour. Try that again. Quite literally creep through this lane. we go. Scan our card again. Hopefully this time it works. Second time was successful, and we're heading over now to Terminal 2, where we was yesterday, and we're getting dispatched and loaded at the same place. Two different numbers, like loading areas, but both at Terminal 2. We have Liverpool city centre right off in the distance, and to the right might just be off camera shot. There's a little tugboat waiting for the next ship to come in. Taken care of. Big old wave ruler. That's one container taken care of. Time for the collection. And we're looking for EW33. Wind's starting to pick up. And if the wind gets too strong, they'll close the docks, so we won't be able to make any more collections. So there's FW. And EW, there we go. Look for EW33. There we have it. Pretty surprised it's a 40-foot container we're collecting today. Normally it's 20-foot containers going to our client. There's a lot of weight in there. Normally it would be different types of powders that we deliver to them. think this might be the same as well. Just got to take your time going through here because the locks are not on. Arrived over at our client's. Time's just hit 9 o'clock and we need to do a left turn and then reverse it back to where he's taking that ramp. Only taking about 35 minutes or so. Due to be at the docks between 11 and 12 to make our collection. It's currently 5 to 10 now, so it's not a bad time to take a little bit of a break, maybe 15 minutes, and then get up to the docks for 11 o'clock. But I need to try and get some fuel first. Luckily, we've got one of the service stations just up the road off the East Lancs, so it's perfect for us to nip into there. Well, at least it's got a parking space just there. Yep, there's a pump available for me. Just got to take it real tight to the point I've got to shunt it a little bit. Nope, nope, it's not working, that pump. Back over at port for 11 o'clock, bang on our 11 o'clock booking time. Got to drop one, pick one up. I think it will take about 40 minutes all in all. So, mate. Looks like they might be getting drivers doing checks. Make sure they're not speeding on there. It looks like they've got that little tunnel operation as well. I've not seen that being used before. I don't really fancy seeing it being used either. dispatching our empty trailer over at Terminal 2, same place where it was this morning. And then we're getting loaded up over at Pad 1, Terminal 1, which is just here on the left hand side. Let's do our twist locks. A seagull over there, loving life. As we're changing from a 40-foot container to a 20, these have been folded inwards. This one needs to come out, the one above the wheel axle, and also this one just here. Simple lift up, turn it round, and the one over here needs to be dropped back down so it's flat. Apply the brakes, we're going to push that one in, so that pin will then activate and go in. Then what we need to do is shunt it backwards, pull the pin back out, and then that will pop out into here. A little bit, like so. And make sure that's kept out, remove the brakes. Let's reverse ourselves into one of these little bays, scan the card, and then we've got to wait around for these big machines to come along and load you up. I think they're called a skid loader. Doing our checks on a container. Oh, there it is actually. I was about to say there's no seal. Turns out it's down there. My bad. Normally though, when you're doing your checks, if there's no seal on it, that would mean that it's been checked by customs. And normally they would put another seal back on. So I would have to go to customer service, fill out like a damage report, just to say the seal has been tampered with. And then they'll be able to give me like a little report I can then give to the client to say, look, it's not us, we've not touched it. It was during shipping, something has happened. Just cover your own back, really. And we've been flagged over for a random check with Border Force. First time actually doing this. So hopefully there's no issues. Not really too sure what to expect either. You all right, mate? Got there, yeah? Tiles, it should be, yeah. Our depot at Haydock. Yeah. SSO Logistics, yeah. Yeah, no worries, mate. So what they're doing now is just going through along the side, scanning it, just to make sure there's nothing in there, for an example, weaponry or anything could be smuggled into the country. Or drugs. Even though everything is above board and everything is legit, it still makes you like panic in the back of your mind. like thinking, oh my god, what if there is actually something there? Because you don't know what is in there. There could be anything smuggled in between some of these containers, what come in and out of these ports. And you could be that one driver, just get something, might be a little bit dodgy. You don't know about it, not your fault, but these guys know what they're looking for. And you know, they do a good job, don't they, keeping the borders safe. That wasn't too bad. I was only in there for about 10 minutes. And some of the things what they were looking at when I was speaking to the guy is they had a little scanner on the side, which you might have just seen. And I was checking for radiation levels, make sure there's nothing inside it. And then check the trailer box number to see where it came from, to make sure it is legitimately tiles. Luckily I know what's on this one. They didn't actually open the back doors or anything though. Time is now 5 to 12. Let's get ourselves out of here. It's like port police have pulled somebody over as well. Checking the vehicles, all road legal, checking the cards, driving licenses, etc. Get ourselves back to the yard for around 12:30, maybe 20 to 1. Drop the trailer, leave the yard for 1 o'clock, and then we've got to make our way with an empty trailer to Chorley, to a dog food place, to collect a full load. And then that'll be me done after that. So I might be looking at about 4 o'clock finish realistically, which is good on a Friday, I can't really complain. Not as good as last week though. I was at home this time last week, finishing at 11 o'clock. Absolutely loved it. It's Mr. Daff himself, Angry Dave. I've got to admit, I do like that truck, it does look really nice. Out comes the ramp. Definitely tell it's a heavy trailer. The way how much it's lifted up on the front compared to the back now we've slid it over. Got some heavy pallets on that container. So our container trailer dropped. So Barry can start unloading it, and whilst he's unloading it, we're connecting to an empty trailer which is over here on the road currently. Connect up and off to Chorley we go. I hate driving on these style way bridges. You'll see markings on the side of them where people have smashed the bumpers or the side of the wheels. Wasn't too bad today. I waited around about 2 or 3 minutes for him to come out and get me. Got to be careful of the guards, make sure trailer's at a good angle. When I reverse, I like to shake it a little bit. I do that on purpose, by the way. Just so I can keep an eye on the mirrors, on any obstacles, because it is very tight around here. Making our way to the M6 southbound. 11 pallets been collected. All we need to do now is take them to Ashton at Wigan. Get offloaded and then go to Haydock, park up the truck and go home for the weekend. Slowing down, appreciate that. It's 2:30 now, coming up to. I'm hoping to be back at Ashton by 3 o'clock, leave Ashton for 3:30, park up Haydock for 4 o'clock, get home 4:30. That's the plan of action. Now whether it'll go to plan is another matter, but we can try. And I get to spend a couple of hours with little man before he goes to bed. Oh, I can't wait for the weekend. I'm really looking forward to it. We're not going out anywhere. We're going to have a nice lazy weekend. Little man's got his swimming lessons, but then I thought, because I've been away working long hours, I've not really seen little man too much for the past 2 weeks, pretty much. So we'll go do like a little family day. So we'll go out swimming, and then I'm going to go to the butcher's, get some nice meat, probably some nice steak for dinner later on. We're going to get a takeaway on the night time, and then we're going to make like a sleepover thing downstairs, because Albie was asking about it. Because if you don't know, he's only just turned 4 years old, my son, and he wanted to, in his words, was camp out downstairs. He wanted to sleep downstairs, but everybody together. So I said, right, okay, what we'll do, we'll get the mattress, we'll bring it downstairs, we'll set it up in the living room, all day we'll just literally relax, watch films, and at night time put another film on. We'll go do some baking during the day, making some biscuits or some cakes maybe, and then Sunday we'll go make some homemade pizzas and then have a nice Sunday dinner for tea. So that's my weekend planned. Not really doing too much, but at the same time just spending time with the family and making them memories, and just watch films all day. So if I've put about 2 stone on by the time I come back on Monday to the next video, that's why. Gonna be eating a lot of sweets, a lot of cake, chocolate, pizza, and a Sunday dinner. Can't beat it. So I do hope you guys have had a great weekend, because you'll be watching this on a Monday. And if you've got any questions about the vlog, let me know down below. I'll try and best to answer as much as I can. We've got some truck spotters up there. Shout out to the spotters. And they try and move across. Oh, we're doing 50. Come on, Aphrodite, get some power up. you're doing 52 miles per hour. Don't have a heavy trailer either. They just lack that little bit of power when you got any weight on the trailers. Not exactly what you want when you're in a rush on a Friday. Stuck behind a car doing 45 miles per hour. And to be honest, looking at that rear tyre on the driver's side, it looks like they got a flat tyre. Let's try and get out of the way maybe. Yeah, it definitely looks flat.
Maintain safe distance.
I don't really know how would go about trying to warn them. Because if I just start braking in front of them with the hazard lights on, they might just think I'm a lunatic. I'll give it a try. There's no way to tell them really. Hopefully they're not driving far. It didn't look flat, but it looked not a lot of pressure in compared to some of the other ones. Unfortunately, trying to get into Ashton right now. Quite a little bit of delays. It's currently 3:15, so we're hitting the front end of the school hour traffic. There's about 4 high schools around here, so it just gridlocks the whole area around 2:30 to about 3:30. I was trying to avoid it where possible, but fortunately got stuck in it today. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back at the yard. The time is currently 3:15. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too late to finish to go pick little man up, but it's still a good finish for a Friday. I am going to call it a day on the video, so thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. As always, take care, have a great weekend. Bye for now.